3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading at number 1025. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. So, starting this reading off, I am currently feeling something very, very, very powerful. I saw a video of a compilation of a bunch of people from a bunch of different countries, all standing up, basically tired of their government. I'm glad that's a universal feeling, kind of. But after I watched that video and I started recording this, and I was looking for what music to play, because I do keep music in my ear to help me stay focused and, really tune into the reading. And for this one, the video is ethereal fantasy music for reflection and stillness. So it's not really meditation music like I usually do, but I did start listening to this type of music like maybe a day or two ago. I think it was only like a day ago. And I just felt like listening to it for this reading. And that plus the video that I saw, I'm just feeling very, very optimistic for our collective future. There's really something here about uniting and standing together and making a difference together. And I want you to know that whatever you're going through, the feelings that come along with your experiences, you are not alone in those feelings. We don't have to have the same experiences to know the same feelings. Let's go ahead and get into interpreting the number 1025. I just had a happy thought. But the number one is about trusting yourself. I definitely trust myself when it comes to how I feel about the future. And if you're feeling optimistic, I really, really encourage you to trust yourself. And even if you're feeling fearful, I encourage you to trust in your ability to have the strength to keep moving forward and to maintain hope and faith that things will get better eventually. Everything in life is temporary, and that's not really something you want to hear when it comes to the good things, but it's definitely something you want to hear when it comes to the bad things. And if you are going through some scary, uncertain times, it's not going to last forever, and it is happening for a reason. I really do believe that. A reason much bigger, and for many reasons in general. Maybe there's something significant here about valuing, what you choose to focus on or what reason you choose to focus on. The number 0 is about a journey with a beginning and an end, as all journeys have. Except, I don't know. I guess the journey with yourself does eventually have an end, just not the soul side of yourself with your human self. But The journey with yourself always runs parallel to any other journey in your life, any relationships, projects, jobs, lifestyles. And I believe that the journey with yourself always comes first. Taking care of yourself, mentally, emotionally, physically, having a healthy relationship with yourself, having self-respect, that always comes first. You come first. The number 2 is, it can be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation that you have on your mind right now that this reading could be about. It's also about finding peace and inner balance. So there could be something here that you feel called to find closure with. It could be fear, it could be grief, it could be anything. If something is robbing you of your peace, I really encourage you to reflect on that and how you can steal it back. I suppose it wouldn't be stealing because it does belong to you. But the last number, the last way that I interpret the number 2 is your choices and prioritizing what means the most to you. This is confirmation or guidance for you to prioritize what means the most to you and making yourself a part of that. And if it's not understanding why yourself isn't high up on the list of what means the most to you. Now the last number, the number 5, is about change and transformation. If you're going through positive changes within yourself or in your life, I encourage you to embrace those changes. This reading is here to encourage you to embrace change for the better, whether it's thinking, feeling, and believing better, or making better decisions, or both. It's okay to choose yourself when you need to, and sometimes even when you just want to. And if you're going through some changes that are scary, it can be hard. It can definitely be difficult dealing with fear and uncertainty. But something that always helped me was staying present and remembering that right now, in this moment, I'm safe, I'm okay, I'm taken care of. And I don't need to worry about the future until it gets here. So if you feel like, it may be beneficial for you to practice some mindfulness and being present, I definitely support that. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. The number 8 is about loss and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. I really encourage you to trust whoever or whatever you feel called to let go, to put the journey with yourself first, to find inner peace and to prioritize what means the most to you. Not only is it important for you to trust yourself, but it's important for you to trust that whatever losses or changes, uncomfortable changes you're experiencing as a result of making better decisions or thinking and having a healthier mindset, trust that it will pay off. And it may take some time, but it is really important for you to trust in the long-term goal, to believe in it, and to really maintain hope and faith in it. And when you start to stray away, sometimes it's okay to let yourself do that for a second and throw a little bit of a tantrum. We all do it. But what matters the most is that you come back down to earth and you come back to yourself. For sure. I am going to go ahead and get into the cards portion of this reading, starting with a card from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. The color red might be significant for you. There might be something important about a red thread. or even your root chakra. For some reason I wanted to say your throat chakra. Maybe there's something here about using your voice and feeling safe and secure. You don't have to communicate in ways that make you feel nervous and unsafe. It's okay to find ways that are more private and that do feel more safe, like journaling or chatting with a friend privately. I have personally found journaling my best friend because, I don't know, for me, I think it's really, really hard to find people to talk about how I feel, because I find that sometimes I feel differently to others that people just don't understand. And you might resonate with that, and maybe we can relate with that. Understand being misunderstood. Let's go ahead and draw out this Ancestor Spirit Oracle card. Also, you might feel called to teach something or to share something after you learn and heal and grow. Like be a mentor, a teacher, a guide, some sort of leader. And the card that I have is... this card says, embrace your inner gypsy, freedom, fun, and music. I just saw the number 122 on the timer, which is about change starting with you. When you embrace freedom and fun and express yourself in ways that align with you, it encourages others to do the same. Embracing your inner gypsy encourages others to do the same. Kind of feel called to look in this guidebook and see what resonates, because I want to better understand what this card means based on the guidebook. I'm trying to find the letter E. Let me go back. Yeah. E-N. Yeah. Okay. I think I should go ahead and read this for you. It says, the Gitanos or Gitanos are a community of nomadic people who fled from northwestern India into Europe. As the Gitanos traveled, they shared their music and culture with the local people. Gitanos survived as traveling blacksmiths and pot makers. They were also well known as singers, dancers, musicians, and fortune tellers. So the word artisan for me is feeling significant. You might feel called to work or create with your hands to create something tangible when it comes to expressing yourself. Many Europeans were intrigued by the Gitanos and their supposed ability to foretell the future, their passion for life, and their love of freedom, as evidenced by their nomadic lifestyle. Not everyone was happy to have the Gitanos in their country, though. Their reputation for begging and stealing meant they were feared, treated as outcasts, and forced to live several miles from any town. Despite discrimination, the Gitanos have survived and preserved their traditional way of life. They have lived by their own rules rather than seek approval from outside of their community. They have always traveled and experienced life on their own terms. The Ancestor Speak says, the Ancestor Spirits want to help you feel like a creative gypsy. Have you had the desire to run away and leave everything behind you? Have you been feeling like a caged bird or a hamster on a wheel? It's time to free yourself, be passionate, and begin to enjoy life again. You do not need to run away or become a nomad, but you do need to do something that can release your stress levels. You may like to dance, sing, travel, or go to a festival or marketplace. I really, really encourage you to explore what makes you feel free, especially if you are experiencing fear. The divinatory meaning says, consider what you can do to get back to your fun-loving, free-spirited self. If you can't make the changes today, put things into place so you don't feel stagnant or trapped. Book a holiday, plan an outing, or a dance in your lounge room. free your mind and your soul by doing things that make you feel alive and passionate. It's interesting because I recently told somebody that if you want to feel alive, do something that scares you. So you take that however you will. You're not meant to feel like a caged animal. Be true to yourself and to what you want to do and free yourself today. Sounds like an advertisement. But I'm going to start drawing out 4 cards from these index cards to see what else there is to be said about this embracing your inner gypsy, freedom, fun, and music or whatever form of creative expression works for you. I think for somebody, I was feeling drawn to dancing here, and then I felt the word cantare, which means to sing in Italian. So somebody's ancestors know that what gives you freedom is singing. And they encourage you to do that. Listen to music, as this card says. You might also find that there are some spiritual messages in that music for you if you believe in that. This is a nice card to get. It says, I'll get to where I want to someday, hopefully, and then there's a heart and a sun. This feels like it's confirming what I said about keeping faith and trust in your ultimate goal, where you want to go, the purpose behind what you're doing in terms of how you're moving forward toward the future. This is very general and vague, and it's meant to be that way because this is a general reading. But what means the most to you right now? Have trust in it. Have faith. Next card. I'll always support you in whatever makes you happy. This could be somebody in your life who supports this about you. It's definitely a spiritual message here from spirit guides and ancestors who want you to know that you're not standing alone in this journey with yourself. Even though based on what I said, sounds like maybe you would. But spiritually, you are definitely supported. And I encourage you to seek out ways to communicate with your spirit guides, the universe, whatever higher power it is that you believe in. This is just more encouragement to have faith. Okay, so this card says, sometimes I resent meeting you, but only because it is forcing me to grow. It's not personal. This could be someone in your life who maybe you had to let go or walk away from, and you don't have any personal resentment to them because you might recognize there's projection somehow in the mix, or just, not authentic expression or communication or honest communication or expression. But I'm glad to, it appears that even though the experience itself maybe wasn't that pleasant, this person, the experience that you had with this person is teaching you something and showing you something. It's helping you grow. And in more ways than one. It feels like you're becoming more emotionally intelligent and resilient. And you're really finding more clarity and becoming more connected with what you actually believe and who you truly are. And that's awesome that you're growing in a way that brings you closer to who you truly are. Okay, so the last card that I have, it says, maybe it'd be best to focus on ourselves right now. Especially with this card up here. I mean, this one just feels like confirmation, the one that I just pulled. But somebody here is definitely on your mind, and this person could have hurt you, or you're just having intense cravings or yearning for this person. And I think the best thing you can do for yourself right now is focus on these intense feelings, whether it's anger or sadness or whatever strong negative feelings that this person created or is creating within you. Not to dwell on these feelings, but to really explore them and understand them and grow from them. This card is really making me feel like there is real unconditional love in this situation. It seems like no matter what happens here, or happened here, either one of you or both of you want the other to be happy. And this has to be something that you already know. So I'm not feeling anything in particular, so if you already know how you feel, obviously you're going to know how you feel. But if you, maybe this is just a reminder that while there's been maybe some conflict, there's still genuine feelings and honest intentions. I just really get here that whatever emotional or intense emotions or feelings you're going through, it's really important for you to find a way to release it, to have fun and free yourself. Focus on freeing yourself and keeping faith and hope in the future and what you want in the long term, whether this other person is involved or not. And I just saw the number 111 on the timer, which we already established way in the beginning, that number is about trusting yourself. So as a last message, trust yourself, the decisions that you have made so far. Trust the feeling to put yourself first, or that belief. Trust in the changes that are happening. Even if they're hard or difficult to go through, I really encourage you to trust in them, that they are happening for a reason. I mean, at the very least, I do believe that they are meant to help you grow, learn, gain more wisdom, help you expand your awareness and your consciousness. Spiritual reasons, I believe, are there. And there is something spiritual to learn, I believe, as well, about these intense feelings that you are experiencing. I'm being reminded about how in the last reading, a card came out that said this passion is maddening. And that's kind of like, I can see how this reading would resonate for somebody who feels that way. So if you feel called to, I do encourage you to watch the previous reading if you think it might be helpful, or that it could be meant for you. I just saw the number 234 on the timer. A sign to trust that everything happens for a reason.